Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahmoud Akbar Afridi, and today we would be studying again Connectives. This is the part 2 of it. Okay, so today we would be studying the second connective, that is thus. There are two different ways of using the thus. Try to, not to confuse these common patterns. In most countries, men and women have equal rights and opportunities. Thus, the position of women in society has improved. Like we could also say, although the position of the woman in society has also improved. In most countries, men and women have equal rights and opportunities, thus proving that the position of women in society has improved. Either thus starts a grammatical sentence as in a, or we use the pattern thus in ing as in be. Okay, make up sentence similar to the examples. Therefore is another connector. These are two common patterns. 2a equals 10. Therefore a equals to 5. 2a equals to 10, and therefore a equals 5. Do not write 2a equals 10, therefore a equals to 5. Make up sentences similar to these examples. Okay, so conclusively, Okay, so now conclusively, which is another connective that is usually really used in the last paragraph or of any kind of material, that it could be letter, application, essay, anything, even narrative writing, descriptive writing. When you want to give the conclusion of something, instead of conclusion you could write many things. Like for example, you could say, if we sum up the information from the text, we could say that okay, so conclusively, which means at last. Conclusively means beyond any doubt. It does not mean in conclusion. At the end of an article or composition, you can start your final paragraph with these words: in conclusion, finally, lastly, eventually. Do not use at last. This means eventually and not finally. Okay. In 1959, 22 to 22, some Portuguese men sailed round the world, proving conclusively that the world is round and not flat. I spent an hour looking for a key and at last managed to find it. Okay, another one is, on the contrary, on the other hand. These two expressions are different in meaning. Okay. On the contrary indicates that a writer is going to give an idea which conflicts with something already said, or which presents an opposite point of view. Yes, we use whenever we, for example, there are two people who are arguing on a car, that whether we should buy an expensive car if we have a good amount of money, or on the other hand the other man says that we should not buy an expensive car because it's not like it's not mandatory thing. We should use local transport to avoid pollution. So whenever we would write an essay for this, so we would always say that whenever have to make comparisons, we have to also always say that, on the other hand, the man who wants to minimize the pollution, he says that we have to use electric cars, or even there is no need of using the electric cars. So here, on the other hand, is an connector. On the contrary indicates that a writer is going to give an idea which conflicts with something already said, or which presents an opposite point of view. A. Mary, are you in favor of compulsory voting? Any? No. On the contrary, I believe people should be free to vote or to abstain. On the other hand, introduces an alternative or different point of view. Yes, like sometimes if you are arguing, if for example you are saying that we should help poor people in by giving them money, but on the other hand I says that no, we should give them something to eat. So this is how on the other hand, and on the contrary side. So these connectors can used to like distinguish between two relevant points. Okay, Mary, what's the best way of sending these things to New York? Any? Well, you could send them by sea. On the other hand, you could send them by air, but that's much more expensive. Okay, now an important connector is there, that is nor. After a negative verb, use or and not nor, unless you add a clause in which the subject comes after the verb. These are correct examples. I can't play the guitar or the piano. Mary can't play the guitar or sing very well. John can't play the piano, and neither can his brother. She can't swim, nor can I. So these are connectors, and this helps in improving daily life English as well when you would apply this in your writing English. So this helps too much. Thank you for listening. I hope you like it.